This is a video about the brand new movie, Oppenheimer. I'm afraid I've started a chain reaction that may never end. Wow, so I saw this movie on Monday, just a couple days ago, and I was absolutely floored. This movie was terrifying. It was awkward. It was extremely hectic for some parts of it and confusing at times. But movies like this, you really only get them once in a lifetime. It's literally just about a theoretical physicist who just, against all the odds, completes his life's work before it's all robbed from him and he's left disgraced in the community. But this movie is fascinating. There's no other movie like this. No other movie makes me feel like this. The only thing comparable was when I saw Nope last year, which was probably my favorite movie of that year. I got kind of a similar feeling of just awe and what am I seeing? For example, 1 second in this movie, you're holding your breath, waiting for the big bomb to go boom. And the next minute, you are dazed and confused because the movie keeps switching between timelines a lot, especially in the third act, which made it really confusing for me because it does this in a lot of Christopher Nolan films where it'll switch between different timelines. Tenet did that in Interstellar. It's very tricky. But Christopher Nolan is a very good director. That does take away from the movie a little bit for me, but that was just one part of it. The whole movie wasn't like that. And it does this thing sometimes in the movie that a lot of movies do, where it'll tell you about a bunch of characters and introduce you to characters kind of earlier in the movie, and then later it'll be doing lore reveals, and then it'll start saying their names, and you can't remember who they are. A good example of this is in The Batman, when as Bruce Wayne he goes to confront Carmine Falcone about his dad. He just starts saying all these names that we've heard these in the movie before, but I don't know who all they are. You have to watch it a couple times to really figure out what Carmine Falcone is talking about. One of the coolest things about this movie to me is that the movie is called Oppenheimer. It's not called the atomic bomb. It's not called Hiroshima. It's about Oppenheimer. It's about this scientist who goes pretty mad near the end, trying to complete this thing. It shows visions from his perspective of what he thinks will happen and what he's afraid of happening, and a lot of that does end up happening. It's just a movie about a man following his passion and passing the point of no return. The movie is all about destruction in one way or another. That's my cat. Destruction of the mind, destruction of physical matter and people, and destruction of one's character, which is quite fascinating to me because, in my opinion, humans are really only born with two innate desires: the desire to reproduce and the desire to destroy. That was some philosophical stuff I thought of that sounds cool, but I do actually think that. But just this movie was great. I mean, there was nothing really horrible about it. I mean, like I said, the third act was really confusing, tricky to understand. But I feel that in a lot of movies, so I think that's kind of a me thing and not the movie thing, really. With all that, I'm going to say the movie is a 9 out of 10. It's not perfect, but this is definitely one of the best movies I've ever seen, and will probably never see another movie like this in my lifetime. These things really just happen once. The world changes forever. Hi. And I really did enjoy this movie. Hopefully I'll go see it again, because, there's just something about this movie that is amazingly awesome. That's pretty much it. Go see this movie. Go see this movie at a theater near you. Go see this movie in IMAX. It is probably the best movie you'll see for a very long time, and I would say that it's very much worth it to experience that firsthand.